हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। जय श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ भगवान की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 29, Shloka 24. Aham ucchavacherdavye kriyayotpannayanage nevatusher chitorchayam bhutagramavamanina। 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 Mataji. Okay. Translation. So synonyms. Aham, I. Uchchavache, with various. Dravya, paraphernalia. Kriyaya, by religious rituals. Utpannaya, accomplished. Anage, O sinless mother. Na, not. Eva, certainly. Tushe, am pleased. Archita, worshipped. Archayam, in the deity form. Bhutagrama, to other living entities, avamanina, with those who are disrespectful. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear mother, even if he worships with proper rituals and paraphernalia, a person who is ignorant of my presence in all living entities never pleases me by the worship of my deities in the temple. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. There are 64 different prescriptions for worship of the deity in the temple. There are many items offered to the deity, some valuable and some less valuable. It is prescribed in Bhagavad Gita, if a devotee offers me with a small flower, a leaf, some water or little fruit, I will accept it. The real purpose is to exhibit one's loving devotion to the Lord. The offerings themselves are secondary. If one has not developed loving devotion to the Lord and simply offers many kinds of foodstuffs, fruits and flowers without real devotion, the offering will not be accepted by the Lord. We cannot bribe the personality of Godhead. He is so great that our bribery has no value, nor has he any scarcity, since he is full in himself. What can we offer him? Everything is produced by him. We simply offer to show our love and gratitude to the Lord. This gratitude and love for God is exhibited by a pure devotee who knows that the Lord lives in every living entity. As such, temple worship necessarily includes distribution of prasad. It is not that one should create a temple in his private apartment or private room, offer something to the Lord, and then eat. Of course, that is better than simply cooking foodstuffs and eating without understanding one's relationship with the Supreme Lord. People who act in this manner are just like animals. But the devotee who wants to elevate himself to the higher levels of understanding must know that the Lord is present in every living entity. And as stated in the previous verse, one should be compassionate to other living entities. A devotee should worship the Supreme Lord, be friendly to persons who are on the same level, and be compassionate to the ignorant. One should exhibit his compassion for ignorant living entities by distributing prasad. Distribution of prasad to the ignorant masses of people is essential for persons who make offerings to the personality of Godhead. Real love and devotion is accepted by the Lord. Many valuable foodstuffs may be presented to a person, but if the person is not hungry, all such offerings are useless for him. Similarly, we may offer many valuable items to the deity, but if we have no real sense of devotion and no real sense of the Lord's presence everywhere, then we are lacking in devotional service. In such a state of ignorance, we cannot offer anything acceptable to the Lord. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I'm not used to so many audience actually. Usually 3, 4. So this verse is very important as we all are engaged in the deity worship. So we are directly or indirectly engaged. Some people are directly serving the Lord, dressing the Lord, preparing the garlands, decorating the Lord with all the paraphernalia, offering bhoga. Some are indirectly involved, distributing prasadam, distributing books, preparing prasadam, getting all the paraphernalia from the market for the service of the Lord. So we are all directly or indirectly engaged in Radha Gopinath service. So every activity is centered towards Radha Gopinath. So this verse is very important in that regards. Now Krishna is Para. So he is Satchidananda Vigraha. He is in the Goloka Vrindavan. He is in his transcendental abode, performing all his pastimes with his parents, his lovers, his friends. And we cannot experience or we cannot see him with our material senses. So we have a limitation. So to have mercy on us, Lord expands as his different plenary portions and portions of the plenary portions. And he also comes as Leela avatars. So we know different Leela avatars. So Krishna comes and performs the Leela avatar. So the devotees can see him. They can associate. They can serve him. They can even touch him. But how many times Krishna comes in one day of Brahma? Sorry, how many times Krishna comes? Sorry, I give the answer already. Once in one day of Brahma. And one day of Brahma is 1000 Chaturyuga cycles. And we are in the Kali Yuga. And yes, we missed him by just 5,000 years. So he came only 5,000 years. And we are so fortunate that we can go to the places where Krishna has performed all his pastimes. We are very fortunate that way. But we are still a little bit unfortunate that we missed the boat. 5,000 years. So now, what is the probability of us seeing Krishna face to face when he comes as a Leela avatar? So 1 in trillions. So that's the time which is required for one day of Brahma. So and then there's one night of Brahma after that. So what is the probability of us seeing Krishna? Very, very fortunate. But then Krishna is so merciful. He wants to extend his mercy to us. So what he does then? He accepts a form which can be perceived by our material senses. So he obviously that form has to be material. So it would be made up of stone, wood, or metal. So he is very merciful, and he is confirming that in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, chapter 3, Shloka 9, Tad Yatha Balishanam Swayam Atmana. So he's saying that out of his causeless mercy and his compassion for his devotees, he accepts the Archa Vigraha form, which we can see. And he comes down to accept our service. He has got no other motive, because why does he want a simple leaf? Leaf is tulsi leaf or flower from us. He's got hundreds and thousands of Lakshmis serving him in the Goloka. It's confirmed in Brahma Samhita. So we actually approach Lakshmi ji, give us something. We need this much money to buy this, to buy that. But Krishna comes out of compassion to accept devotees' service. He is not in need of anything. So we cannot actually arrange any suitable paraphernalia for Lord's worship, because we are completely ignorant. But he gives us the process and he gives us the form to worship. So that way Krishna is very, very merciful that he comes and he accepts our service. Now, he said he accepts 4 things. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhakta prayachati tad aham bhaktya upahartam ashnami prayatatmana. So if one offers me with love and devotion, a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. So why Lord has made it so simple? Because He wants even the poorest of the poor can serve Krishna. He's not in need of anything, as we already discussed, and He doesn't expect us to, offer Him valuable things like jewels, jewelry, big cars, or expensive watches. Nothing. He just wants simple things. Patram pushpam palam toyam. That's all He needs. But that has to be offered with love. There is a condition attached. So Lord will not accept if it is not offered with love. So He is completely satisfied with a simple tulsi leaf or a small flower. But that has to be offered with love. So if there is no love, then Krishna won't accept it. And then also Krishna is saying that He would not accept if the devotee is only desiring a direct connection with Him, but he is completely ignorant of all the other devotees. So Krishna says that is also not acceptable. So in this verse, bhakti is mentioned twice. So the only process to approach Krishna is by bhakti. So it has been mentioned twice in that verse in Bhagavad Gita. We may become, Brahmana, learned scholar, philosopher, or a, very rich man, but that won't help us to approach Krishna. The only thing that can help us is through bhakti. And we have to offer things which Krishna desires. So we cannot offer Him anything which Krishna doesn't desire. So He has given us the menu. So we have to choose what we can offer. We can all offer all of them. We can offer one of them or some of them. But He has given us the menu. We cannot go outside that menu and create our own things like, okay, I like to eat this or I like this thing, so I'll offer Krishna. Krishna won't accept it because Krishna has already stated what He can accept. Okay. So when we offer anything with love to Krishna, the example is given of a rich millionaire. He has a son and he goes and buys a small watch for this father. And father is very happy. Why is father happy? This money was given by father himself, but he is very happy when the kid comes back and gives him something, some gift. And he says, oh wow, this is a reciprocation of love. So my son loves me. So that is what Krishna is also. Krishna is happy when we offer Him something with love. Because Krishna is ready to reciprocate. He's just waiting for our love. And if it is not offered with love, again then Krishna won't accept it. So examples of some devotees who have offered very simple things and they have won heart of Krishna. They have completely purchased Him. So for example, the example is of Shabriji. Now Shabriji, she was informed by her guru that one day Lord Ram will come with Lakshmana to accept her service. And this was Treta Yuga. So she used to get up every day, get ready, that today Lord Ram will come and prepare everything, in expecting Lord to come any time. But then many years passed. I don't know what is the timeline for that yuga, but many years passed and she became old. But one day Lord came. But she was always getting ready every day with complete faith in the words of her guru that one day Lord Ram will come. And when Lord Ram came, what did she offer Lord Rama? Tasted bear. So she was tasting the bear. The bitter ones she was keeping aside, okay, I'll eat them later. The sweet ones she was offering it to the Lord. And Lakshmana actually pointed out that these are unworthy of eating because they have been tasted. But Lord said, Lord, what did Lord say? I have tasted many types of food, but nothing equals these bear fruits. Offered with such devotion, you taste them, then alone will you know. Whomsoever offers a fruit, leaf, flower, or some water with love, I partake it with great joy. So in that enthusiasm, Lord was accepting even the tasted berries, and he said the sweetest part of the berry was which was touched by her saliva. But that is Shabri. We don't have to imitate her. I mean, that is her level of devotion, and Lord reciprocating in ecstasy. Uh, but such a simple offering, a tasted bear, and Lord is completely satisfied. But there is pure devotion in that, pure bhakti. Thousands, I don't know, hundreds of years she had been waiting to see the Lord with complete faith in the words of her Guru. Then another example is from the Krishna book, fruit seller. She comes to sell the fruits in exchange of some grains at the house of Nanda Maharaj. And Krishna wants to have the fruits. So he rushes and he grabs some grains in his small hands. She comes back but he's disappointed that, oh, I've only got a few grains in my hand. How many fruits can she give me in return? But this fruit seller was completely enchanted. She was so charmed upon seeing the beautiful form of Gopal and his innocence. So she took those grains with love and filled both arms of Krishna with fruits. Although she was a poor fruit seller, she had nothing, but she was completely ecstatic. She was in love. Her heart was completely transformed. So in exchange, what Lord did, Lord completely filled her heart with transcendental love and also converted all his fruits into jewels, expensive jewels. But the main thing is she got the love of the Godhead just by simple offering. But that offering was with love. Simple fruits, that's it. Another example is Vidurani. So in Mahabharata we see that Duryodhana had arranged a big feast for Krishna. But Krishna refused to eat that food items because Duryodhana had no love for Krishna. He is not a devotee. So instead Krishna goes to Vidura's house without invitation. Vidura is not even there. And when Vidurani sees Krishna, she is completely overwhelmed. Like when we see, a great personality suddenly walk into our room, or we are sitting in the temple room and suddenly Maharaj comes in, like we're totally overwhelmed. Oh, we are so fortunate to get his darshan then, but how can we serve him, So we bow down and we try and do whatever we can to serve that great personality. Similarly, Vidurani was like completely filled with ecstatic love of this invited appearance of Krishna. And so she offered Krishna banana. But what she did, she peeled the banana and she threw the banana in the bin without realizing that she is offering banana peels. And the Lord is also in complete ecstasy. He's starting to eat the banana peels without realizing that this is not banana. So then Vidura comes and he sees, oh, what is Lord doing? And then suddenly they both come to senses and Lord realizes he's eating banana peels and Vidurani is also. So, but then this is the love of Krishna. He would eat banana peels even if it is offered with love. And Vidura says, like, you are so fortunate, Vidurani, that you were able to serve Krishna and Krishna is accepting your service. So these are the simple things which, devotees have offered to the Lord and they have completely purchased Lord. But that was offered with love. So this just reconfirms this shloka in Bhagavad Gita that Lord is not after, any paraphernalia. He is only after our love. Another example is Draupadi. So Draupadi, Durvasa Muni goes to Pandava's ashram in the forest and he says, I'm going to have prasadam at your place. And they did not have anything to offer them. So he goes to have a bath in the river with his team. But then Draupadi starts praying to Krishna that, oh, I have nothing to offer. What will happen when they come back? And then suddenly Lord Krishna appears. So then Lord says, okay, bring the pot. In that pot there was one rice grain. Lord said, just offer me that. And she offered it with full faith and devotion. And what happened when Lord accepted that? Everyone was completely satisfied. And Durvasa Muni and all his disciples were completely satisfied. They didn't want to eat anything and they thought, oh, it would be so embarrassing to go back to Pandava's ashram because they can't eat anything now. So then they left. They didn't go back. So just some examples of how Lord is so merciful and He reciprocates with simple things. He doesn't want any big offering or uh, any extra effort. Just simple things with simple love. Now, the second thing is why we should. Prabhupada is putting a lot of emphasis on prasadam in this shloka in the purport. So, what is the first reason why we should be eating prasadam or the devotees eat prasadam? Because by eating prasadam, we are getting Lord's mercy. It has been scented by Lord's compassion. And confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 3.13, Yajya Shishta Shana Santo Muchyante Sarva Kilvishe Bunjante Tev Agam Papa Ye Pachanta Atma Karanat. So devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. So Prabhupada is also explaining in the purport that if somebody is eating the food stuff without offering it to the Lord, it's like stealing and it's like animal-like propensity. So importance of prasadam. So prasad is very, very important in devotee's life. Now, the third part is that Krishna is saying that I cannot accept any offering if you are completely ignoring my devotees. So if somebody is not really paying respect to others, then it is considered Vaishnava aparad and Lord would not accept his offering. And there are examples of how just by pleasing a devotee, by serving a Vaishnava, the devotees have achieved perfection. So in this canto, in the previous chapters, we have seen how Mother Devahuti is serving Kardama Muni. So she is serving Kardama Muni with intimacy, great respect, control of senses, with great love. So Prabhupada says that we should also serve our Guru and Krishna in the same manner. And so Devahuti was serving with her heart and soul, and she was not caring even for her body. She lost the weight, she lost her beauty, but she was just constantly serving her husband because her husband, Kardama Muni, is a pure devotee of the Lord. And Kardama Muni says, in discharging my own religious life of austerity, meditation and Krishna consciousness, and he says, although you have not yet experienced this achievement, which are free from fear and lamentation, I shall offer them all to you because you are engaged in my service. So he's sharing all the love of Godhead, which he has acquired by devotional service, just because Devahuti, mother, is engaged in Kardama Muni's service. And the result was, Lord himself appeared as their son. So what other benediction can we want? I mean, if the Lord can appear as, we can be parent of the Lord. Such a great benediction. And also in the previous chapters we discussed that how Bhavani, Mother Parvati, is serving Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva is the greatest devotee of the Lord. And she asked Lord Shiva, what is the greatest worship? And Lord Shiva said, greatest worship is serving Lord Vishnu. But then he further adds that greater than worshipping Lord Vishnu is worshipping anything in connection with Vishnu, devotees or paraphernalia. And that is also confirmed, Tadiyanam Samarchanam. So Lord Shiva said, although the Vedas recommend worship of demigods, the worship of Lord Vishnu is topmost. However, above the worship of Lord Vishnu is the rendering service of Vaishnavas who are related to Lord Vishnu. So in this verse, Prabhupada is pointing out the neophyte mentality. And for example, people come and they bring the offerings, come straight to Radha Gopinath. They don't look left, right, just come straight, bow down without realizing that there are other devotees. They don't say Hare Krishna or nothing. I'm just saying those people who are not aware or they are new and they come. So they have some faith. So that is good. We appreciate that and we want them to stay like that at least for some time and then progress. But that is the neophyte mentality, that they are not interested in developing relationship with others. They just want one single way relationship with Radha Gopinath. They come, they offer, and then they leave. But we have to go to the next level, at least Madhyama, where we understand the object of love. So the object of love is Krishna. So a Madhyama may be having multiple relationship. He may be having a family, friend, other devotees, but he knows that the object of love is Krishna. He understands that even if the whole beauty of the whole world is combined together, it is not even a small portion of Krishna's beauty. And the closest love to Krishna is considered as mother's love in the material world. And Dhruva Maharaj is being told that by her mother, that if millions of mothers' love is combined together, that is not even a small portion of Krishna's love for us. So he completely understands that this is the object of Krishna is the object of love, and no one can love us more than Krishna. And he completely understands that Lord is also present in all the jivas as Paramatma. So he has a respect for all the jivas. But at the same time, he is a preacher, so he differentiates between an envious person and a innocent person. So we don't want to preach the envious, because that can increase their enmity and they can become violent. So, but we want to give the mercy out to the ignorant, and that's what again the purport is saying, that through Prashadam we can extend this mercy of the Lord to the ignorant as well. So, not recognizing and appreciating other devotees' presence in Paramatma is a Vaishnava Aparad. And we all know that Bhakti Lata Bij has been given to us by the Guru. So, Brahmanda Brahmita, so that shloka says that the jivas are wandering in the universe from different planets to different, in different species, and then by some great fortune they come in contact with a devotee of the Lord, and if that devotee is a bona fide spiritual master, he gives the Bhakti Lata Bij, and then we need to water it through chanting the mantra and meditating on Krishna. So finally this Bhakti Lata Bij grows into a plant, and that goes all the way to Golaka Vrindavan. Now what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, that Vaishnava Aparad is like Mattahati, like a mad elephant, which will come into your Vatika or the garden where your Bhakti Lata is, and then it can completely uproot and destroy your Bhakti. And Krishna, and this is, so we have to really consider this as a serious impediment in the progress. So we have to go from the Kanishta to the Madhyama. And this is confirmed that Krishna is living in everyone's heart, in his devotee's heart. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 468, Sadhavo Hridayam Mahayam Sadhanam Hridayam Tvaham. The pure devotee is always within the core of my heart, and I am always in the heart of the pure devotee. My devotee do not know anything else but me, and I do not know anyone else but them. So this is the Krishna's love. He is in heart of all the devotees. So if we are ignoring other devotees, that means we are disrespecting Krishna, who is present in them. So that is very, very important point. And then the last thing is, we come again to the importance of distributing the prasadam. So by distributing prasadam, what we are doing, we are extending Krishna's mercy to the ignorant people. I've seen in this temple, including myself, we started coming just for the prasadam, and we got the mercy, and slowly a lot of devotees, then they started taking up other services, and they advanced in Krishna consciousness. So how many people have converted into advanced devotees, and the process started with just the prasadam. So that is the importance of distributing prasadam, and in all our ISKCON temples we put so much of emphasis on distribution of prasad. And even at home, if you are preparing bhoga and offering it to the Lord, then you can distribute it to your friends, make some cookies or something, and then distribute it to your neighbors, friends, also give them some books and distribute Lord's mercy. So in essence, this verse is saying that Lord is very merciful. He comes down as Archa Vigraha to accept our service. He accepts simple things like Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, Toyam. But that has to be offered with love, and we have to raise ourselves from the neophyte mentality. And it is very important to, because we may be thinking, no, we are not, but there are still neophyte tendencies in us. So we have to really strictly guard against those. Constantly keep checking that, oh, am I doing this? Is it like a neophyte mentality? And go to the level of, at least to the level of Madhyama. By doing that, we are pleasing the Lord. And once we please the Lord, we get Lord's mercy, and He accepts our offerings. And then the importance of distributing prasadam by passing Lord's mercy to the ignorant, but they are innocent people. And by doing that, we are also again pleasing the Lord and our Guru. Okay, thank you so much. I think I'll stop here. Any questions or any suggestions? Yeah. Correct. Yeah, good question. We always, very mindful of what we're buying from the supermarkets, checking everything. To an extent, whatever we can. I mean, it's very hard for us to keep a check on everything, but we should be conscious of that. And before buying anything which would be later offered to the Lord, we have to be very careful that it is in a pure form. It is not adulterated with something which is not acceptable to the Lord. I totally understand what you're saying, but there is a limitation to what we can do, and Krishna totally understands that. But the important thing is, once we get that paraphernalia in the temple or in our house and we are preparing bhoga for the Lord, then from that point onwards we have to be very careful in keeping the purity. And especially in the temple, it is all done as per Narad Paranchatatrika Vidhi. So there's a lot of purity maintained here. Even at home, we should try and keep high standards, but it is home and Krishna totally understands. So unintentional mistakes are forgiven, but we should be very mindful of these things. So it's a good point, Prabhu. We all try. I mean, when we go to market, I'm sure everybody is looking at even the e-numbers and everything to make sure that we are not buying anything which is not acceptable to the Lord. But there is a lot of, you said the purity of the paraphernalia is important, and as I said, that high standard is maintained, especially in the temples. But then the consciousness is also important. Like, the person who is buying, there's a consciousness in it. Then person is cutting the vegetables, there's a consciousness preparing. Then the person who is preparing the prasad, then their consciousness also goes in there. Then the person who is actually offering directly to the Lord, their consciousness is there. And then finally the person who is distributing the prasad, their consciousness. So at so many levels, so if we are thinking that, finally this prasadam, this bhoga, when it's accepted by Lord, it will come back to the devotees as prasadam. So you have to be very mindful of both the cleanliness of preparing and also of the consciousness. A lot of times we get, when we have too many services, and we start getting a bit frustrated. Oh Lord, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I don't have time. But we should not have that sort of mentality. We should always pray, God, please give me more strength to do more service. And please keep my heart clean when I'm serving. Yeah. Sorry, any other questions? Any additions? So Prabhu, after a very long time. Nothing else? Yes, Prabhu. Yes, please. Radhe Krishna Mataji. So that means you they are offering you to eat that sort of thing or doing. Um, if we can avoid that sort of a thing, but I know everybody has a different situation, and if we are in that situation, we should still keep doing our job. And if you keep coming here, take Radha Gopinath's mercy, then obviously with Lord's arrangement, you'll get out of that job. But until you have anything else for survival, you may continue as long as you yourself not eating anything like that. And you can make some conscious efforts to see if you can get something else which is more suitable to your kind of lifestyle. As long as you're not eating and you're not serving to anyone, then uh, for survival it is okay. But if you can, if there's a choice, and if Radha Gopinaths make arrangement, then yes, that would be better for you. Um, that's all I can say. I mean, but you can talk to other devotees here as well. I'm sure a lot of people have been in that situation, and it's a tough call. But if it is for survival, I guess you have to continue until you can find something else. But keep praying. We'll pray to Radha Gopinath to get you out of there as soon as he can. Any other questions? No one? You're letting me off the hook so easily. Okay, thank you everyone for coming. Srimad Grantaraj, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki jai, Purushottam Manth ki jai. How are you, Prabhu?